So online, people refer that your self past is still a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they just label it your inner child. So
Mm.
I looked up. There's
Inner
actually a
child.
definition
Yeah.
on the Merriam-Webster website.
Ah,
Like, I was
is that a
surprised.
good dictionary? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just know it's a place to find definitions. So,
Gotcha.
but it says, well, it is a noun, and it's the childlike, usually hidden part of a person's personality that is characterized by playfulness, continuity, and creativity, usually accompanied by anger, hurt, and fear, attributable to childhood experiences. So I thought it was just kind of.
So what did you gain from the inner child thing? Like, is that
Well, I did a little bit more.
okay?
Not really.
Take me through your thought process here. When you heard the inner child thing, where did your mind go then?
I have no idea what that was. I was like, I don't know what this means.
Did you go like, hey, like, oh, my inner child, and you tried to identify it in yourself? Like, what is my inner child?
Yeah, no, that's
Because
I'd
I've
say
heard
yeah.
that one too.
Um, but I did a little bit more. I don't know if it was like the same. I don't know if I got this different definition from the same, the Merriam-Webster, or just a different place that kind of generalized it. But it said, inner child is part of your psyche that retains innocence, creativity, awe, and wonder towards life. So I kind of read that and it felt like it clicked a little bit more.
So I guess that's all the things that doesn't include, responsibility, having to deal with
Yes.
shitty things.
Yeah. So that was my thought process with that. Not anything huge, but
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely makes you think about yourself more.
Mhm.
So I thought that was very interesting because I'm not very mindful of myself, I guess.
I would beg to differ on that. Like I feel like your mindfulness isn't specifically to what people would say, I'm being mindful right now. But, self-awareness is something you do have enough of, at least.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just shut it down and be like, oh yeah, I don't have any mindfulness.
I guess it's more just something I can work on because I have I have trouble connecting with my own feelings and having to put it into words. Because as you notice with our podcast with Cody, he was able to do it perfectly. He was able to put his feelings into words and even my feelings into words when I couldn't. And
damn, he knew your feelings.
that's just kind of skill. And I'm kind of jealous that he's so in tune with his emotions because I have such a hard time doing it, and I get confused on why I get angry sometimes, and this and that, so forth.
Yeah, it's certainly something practiced. People they don't pop out just like, I know my feelings. I mean, usually that's part of, parents trying to parent their child is how to articulate your feelings. Like, you're feeling this. What does that mean? How do you react to it? Because, like, your feelings are your body that's talking to you. And so you got to listen and be like, okay, I know you're like this right now. This is the reason why. Maybe we can adjust, stuff like that. So it's not something that just like, boom, you have it.
So when it comes to feelings, is it people always, connect feelings with the heart, but in a way, is it also a something in your brain, a neurologic? Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So
there's a lot that happens.
I just don't understand if that's the case. When people say, listen to your heart or think with your brain, that type of thing, because they're generally kind of the same thing.
That's exactly right. Like,
your brain is telling you what you're feeling, not necessarily your heart, because your heart just has one purpose and to really pump blood,
Well, you're
right?
well, yeah, but your heart and your brain have a lot of, well, your brain is all neurons, and then your heart has a whole bunch of neuroconnectivity. And it's one of the first things to form with your brain, too. So, in a sense, it's all one system. People tend to separate the brain and the body, but the brain and the body are very intermingled and mixed. So, it's to say, oh, you got to think with your head. You can't, feel your emotions. Well, your emotions are a part of that. You just, it's different reactions to things. So when people say think with your brain, it's try to form some sort of logical conclusion. When people say, think with your heart or lead with your heart, it's more of like the feeling or the emotion. Like, I like doing this. I'm going to keep doing this, or some sort of subconscious level type stuff. But to separate the brain and the body is a very bad idea, because everything's interconnected. And when you feel things, that's neurochemically, and also things happening in your body. It's all connected. It's all part of the same system. So it's you as kind of a conscious, logical processing being. You have to be able to identify, what those things are, and process, when my body does this, when my brain and my body are doing this, what does that actually mean? Is it the proper way to react? Things like that. So it's something that's, you could kind of separate, but they're inseparable. They affect each other.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they drive each other. In fact, most of your habits and the things you think about are driven by things you're not fully aware of or conscious of.
So feelings are just ties with your brain.
Yeah, very much so. Brain in your body.
That's interesting. I learned something new. I just never understood it. Follow your heart. Do what your heart tells you. I'm just like, what does that mean?
Dude, your heart rhythm, when you get stressed, your heart, it feels like it's beating out of your goddamn chest, like you can't control it. And you're like, ah. But, if you're chill and calm, you're going to have, a nice and even heartbeat. It's not going to be flying out of your chest or anything. And you feel those things. And your brain makes that happen, and vice versa. Your heart makes other things happen. Kind of like you can help control your heart rate with your breath. Like, you could consciously take a breath and then it'll affect your heart rate. Like, things, it's very intermingled.
I've had a lot of anxiety, so
Yeah.
that really hits.
Take some breaths, man.